You're probably thinking, birds aren't really intimidating. And you'd be right. Apart from a couple of weirdos and this psychopath, there aren't many frightening fowls out there. But what if I told you there once was a bird so fearsome that it makes an ostrich look like Donald Duck? A butcher of a bird. In fact, a terror bird. Yeah, so these chaps were homicidal maniacs. Large, flightless birds that evolved around 53 million years ago in South America and pretty much terrorized the entire continent for the next 50 million years. That's 5 and 7 zeros, by the way. One of their species, Titanus, even hopped over to NA when a volcanic land bridge formed during the Great American Interchange. Their family is Foresteracidae, try saying that backwards, and they can be broadly divided into two parties. Some clowns call the Silopterines and the true terror birds, who are the real deal. So we'll forget about the clowns and focus on them. More specifically, on three species: Calencan guillermoi, Phorestracos longissimus, and Titanus walleri, the best attacking trio of all time. Sorry, I meant one of the best. Calencan, the big one, reached 10 feet in height, which is 1.5 times as tall as Michael Jordan. Weight 250 kilograms. Division heavyweight. Phorestracos, the football fan from South America, could reach 7 feet, sort of if you stack two R2D2s. Weight 130 kilograms. Division heavyweight. Titanus, king of Texas, measured 6.5 feet, the same as the length of a MacBook Air charger. Weight 46 million kilograms. Wait, what? Oh, that's Titanics. Weight 150 kilograms, I think. Division. By the way, I'd like to mention that they had massive skulls, a whopping 65 centimeters. That's what, 4 DualShock 4s placed end to end? Man. In the weapons department, these turkeys had evil hooked beaks that would have stung like sting, and sickle claws for disemboweling their prey. Not to mention legs made of reinforced steel, which I'll go into that later. Painful subject. Anyway, they had these expansions above their eyes, like modern hawks, that protected them from sunlight. This means they lived in open areas and probably had eyesight like Legolas with military-grade binoculars. The Foresteracidae were probably apex predators, but they were also scavengers, stealing kills from other hunters. They liked to snack on equids, tapirs, capybaras, small to medium-sized mammals essentially. As I said earlier, their shin bone, old tibiotarsus, was like adamantium. Why? Theory 1. It was an adaptation for running, allowing them to sprint like the roadrunner and pursue rodents. Theory 2. They would use them as kicking weapons, breaking the long bones of ungulates and effectively immobilizing them. The terror birds would swallow small animals whole. Medium-sized mammals they would restrain with their claws and eviscerate. And when it came to really jumbo prey, paleontologists have theorized that it used the old attack and retreat strategy like the greatest, dancing around while landing well-targeted strikes with its beak. The funny thing is, they had a relatively weak bite force. The fact is, they relied more on precision and made up for the debuff with a sharp beak, a wide gape, and enhanced musculature around the neck area. You will not believe how long it took me to find out when these chaps went extinct. I had to go on a whole side quest. Finally, after years of research, I had some numbers. 1.8 to 2.5 million years ago. What I also had were theories. Some absolutely mental, like the egg-eating mammals one. Some reasonable sounding but clearly wrong. For example, the theory that humans kill them or their prey, which was rejected because we showed up 1,000,000+ years after them. Then there was the competition theory, which claims that North American predators that spread to South America outcompeted the terror birds. But that doesn't make sense because Titanus, the only terror bird from NA, successfully competed with the same predators in Texas and Florida sometime earlier. In my opinion, and as evidence suggests, it was climate change. Terror birds lived in a tropical climate for 50 million years. When temperatures dropped sharply in the last ice age, they couldn't adapt to the change in climate. So the Foresteracidae left the earth forever, bringing an end to their cruel reign of terror.